Welcome back to Whispers from Wren. Tonight's whisper comes from a husband who thought he was doing the right thing, protecting his family, building a safety net, keeping the lights on when life got hard. But somewhere along the way, a secret was born. And secrets, no matter how well-intentioned, have a way of coming out. So settle in, because this one is going to divide you. This is his story, in his own words. He's been married for 8 years, 2 kids, a mortgage, car payments, all the weight that comes with building a life with someone. He's the sole breadwinner. His wife stays home with the children, and by his own account, she's a devoted mother. That part isn't in question. What is in question is money. From early in the marriage, they've had very different views on spending. She doesn't think she's doing anything wrong and usually says he's too focused on saving. Honestly, he is really tired of fighting about the same issue over and over again. A lot of people asked what he means by unnecessary, not designer purses or thousands of dollars at a time. It's mostly impulse purchases and lifestyle spending. Things like replacing decor that was perfectly fine, buying seasonal decorations, ordering takeout several times a week when groceries are already at home, buying clothes nobody really needs, and random online purchases. None of these things are a huge deal on their own. The problem is that they add up. They've had multiple conversations over the years. More than once, they've led to arguments. To be fair to her, there have been times when she agreed she'd spent money on things they didn't really need and said she'd try to be more careful. But then she'd see an ad on social media or come across something she thought was cute, useful, or a good deal, and she'd buy it impulsively. Then they'd end up having the same conversation all over again. That's honestly what led him to start the emergency fund. He felt like every time they managed to get a little ahead financially, the extra money would slowly disappear before they could save it for something important. About a year ago, after another fight about money, he started quietly setting aside a small amount from each paycheck into a separate account. His intention wasn't to hide money from his family. He wanted an emergency fund because they never seemed to have one. For the most part, it wasn't taken out of their regular household budget. It came from work bonuses, performance incentives, holiday pay, and money earned from picking up extra hours. Their normal paychecks still went into their joint finances for bills, groceries, the mortgage, and everything else. Since then, that fund has saved them several times. They used it when the car needed an expensive repair, and again when their bills jumped after her parents stayed for 2 weeks during a home renovation. His wife didn't know about the account because he handles most of their budgeting. A few days ago, she was looking through their finances and noticed some numbers didn't add up. He admitted he'd been putting money into a separate account. She got extremely upset and accused him of lying to her for a year. Her argument is that married couples shouldn't keep financial secrets from each other, no matter the reason. He knows keeping it secret was wrong, and that's what his wife is upset about. But he wasn't hiding money while telling her they couldn't afford necessities. He was trying to make sure they had something set aside for emergencies, because they never seemed to be able to keep savings for long. He loves his wife very much. This isn't about trying to control her or punish her. He's just exhausted from having the same argument over and over again for years. At this point, he genuinely doesn't know what the right answer is. The secret account solved the emergency fund problem, but now it's created a trust problem. And he understands why she's hurt. Am I in the wrong here? This one is genuinely complicated, and I want to sit with that for a moment before we get to the verdict, because both of these people have a point. She's right that financial secrets erode trust. Marriage is a partnership, and partners don't get to unilaterally decide what the other person knows about their shared money. Even with the best intentions, keeping a secret account for a year is a form of deception. Full stop. But he's also right that without that account, they would have been scrambling more than once in the past year alone. He tried the honest route. He had the conversation, Again and again, it went nowhere. So he found another way. Here's what stands out to me most. He's the only one earning money in this household. And yet somehow he's the one who ended up feeling like he had to go behind his wife's back to make sure his family had a safety net. That's not a money problem. That's a communication problem, a trust problem, a partnership problem. The secret account was a band-aid on a wound that needed stitches. The comments on this story are completely divided. A lot of people say he's not the asshole. He did what he had to do to protect his family. Others say everyone sucks here. The emergency fund was necessary, but hiding it was wrong. Here's where Wren lands. He is not the villain of this story, but he is not without fault either. What this couple needs more than anything isn't a verdict from the internet. It's a table, 2 chairs, and someone qualified to help them actually hear each other. 8 years, 2 kids, 1 income. A lot of love by his own words. That's worth fighting for. Openly this time. That's today's Whisper. Was he protecting his family? Or betraying his wife's trust? Drop your verdict in the comments. I want to know exactly where you land on this one. More whispers are coming. Follow Wren so you never miss one. I'll see you in the shadows.